terrible. But I just found it really horrible. I just had to come out. I couldn't take it more.
People are extremely depressed by this.
It doesn't bother me that much. But I guess it bothers her more than it bothered me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to House of Grey Rabbit. I'm your host as always, Grey Rabbit 80, and it's prom.
How y'all doing?
If you've been keeping up with our videos here lately, you know for a fact that this is Shark Month. And so we've been subjecting ourselves to shark movies that are so bad they're not oh. So last week, we had to deal with That Was Land Shark. Oh. I think I almost got sick of my own mouth. And this week, what do we have in store, Prime?
Shark Exorcist.
Shark Exorcist.
Yes.
Didn't we just go through an exorcism movie not too long ago with Amityville Exorcism?
Yes.
And so we have another exorcism movie. It's the Shark Exorcist.
Yes. You ready?
In the name of science, we'll be right back. I've never wanted to regurgitate more than watching this film. This movie clocks in at an hour and 10 minutes. That's an hour and 10 minutes I'll never have back. That's an hour and 10 minutes you should never give.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
What hour and 10 minutes were you watching?
I got Allie. I got Allie. Allie, are you okay? What happened? Stay with me. Stay with me.
There's no discernible reason why this film exists.
There's no plot.
There's nothing. There's nothing whatsoever going on in this movie. Oh my god. Oh, my brain hurts. Oh. Pretentious douchebag crap. That's what this film is. That's my new catchphrase, by the way. So, let's first off talk about the characters.
Which there's not that very many.
So, of course. So, anyway, let's start out with our first three girls. We have Jerk Girl number 1. We're going to use jerk as the term instead of what we really think. Jerk number 2 girl.
And Smart Girl.
And Smart Girl. They're all on the way to go to a lake, which apparently the jerk girls, who are blondes,
Yeah.
don't seem to understand what a lake is and think that it's some sort of water park and hope that it has a
Wave pool.
and a really awesome water slide. To which Smart Girl tries to explain to them what a lake is and what you do at a lake. When they get to said lake, which is really weird because it has concrete steps going into the water,
Yeah.
I don't get it. But anyway, if you decide to pay attention in the first 5 minutes of the movie, you find out that a nun who supposedly did something to children, we're not sure
No.
what it was, basically says that the world has forsaken her, which to me sounds like she didn't do it.
Yeah.
But then she's approached by some victim, or maybe it's just an onlooker, I don't know, who then says she'll burn in hell. The nun stabs her, rolls her into the water, basically hails Satan, gives him this sacrifice, and demands an avenger. To which we get Hell Shark. That's what we're going to call him from now on. Glowing red eyes, Hell Shark. Now keep in mind, we're going to go back to our girls who are at the lake.
The water park.
The water park. Lake. So one of the blonde girls decides to go swimming and is attacked by Hell Shark. Her friends pull her out of the water, to which, and I'm going to describe this as easily as possible. She is, listen, he's laughing. See how much he's laughing? It's because I'm explaining this to you. This girl is bleeding from the mouth, and she has what appears to be... No. I don't care what anybody says. This wound on her leg is nothing more than fake blood that has been sprayed on her leg. There is no cut. There is no scratch. I don't know what version you saw when it was on the list. It didn't happen. There was no cut. Point being is, then we have interior shots of a hospital that mean nothing because we don't stay there. To find out that she basically gets out within the first couple of days because she miraculously heals. Then she has this weird thing where she likes to be in water all the time. Smart girl tries to talk to her, and really I'm paraphrasing a couple of scenes here because there's no reason to go step by step through what's going on here. And keep in mind, we're not stepping, like we're started talking about cast and then we kind of got into plot. That's because there was nothing else to talk about.
It went straight into it.
So then we have the girl that got bit, the blonde girl number 2, I guess. She's just walking along the road. Even though in the last scene she said she was going home.
To take a bath.
To soak in the bathtub.
So she was wearing different clothes.
And her hair was different.
Her hair was different.
So we don't know if this is another day or if it's the same day.
Just later on.
Is Hell Shark magical and can change your clothes and hairstyle?
We're not talking about a normal shark here.
Apparently so.
I don't know. Point is, she stops a guy who we will refer from now on as Joe Sixpack. Joe Sixpack was not going to the lake, but because she threatens to walk away from his truck,
He goes away.
he goes to the lake. And then they frolic and they splash, and then Joe is horrendously killed
By the shark.
by Hell Shark. Now, this is when we find out that Joe Sixpack had a brother who was a priest. So, Priest Bro goes in search, and for some reason finds Smart Girl,
Designer blue.
who he talks to about her friend, the one that got bit. Remember what we were talking about a minute ago?
And knew her name.
Yes. How? So anyway, they go to find the girl who is apparently at a circus or a fair,
Fair, something like that. Yeah.
where she seduces another man away from his girlfriend.
And bites him.
Yes.
Because
And when-
she has shark teeth.
Yes, she has like sharp,
Piranha
super
teeth.
piranha teeth. So then they
Fast forward.
they somehow she's tied to a tree, and he's now Priest Bro is now trying to do an exorcism on her.
He's never done one before.
Never done one before.
All he's done is read the book.
She then pulls a Reagan from Exorcist and pukes all over him. Which, by the way, there's a lot of Exorcist puke in this movie.
There's twice as much as the.
Oh God, there's Exorcist puke, and then there's this, and it's these people had quantities of pea soup hanging out to throw up on each other. There are times with random characters that have no name or nothing just see a dead body and just puke right there on sight. Scene after scene after scene. So she pukes on him, and at this point, he decides that to save her, he must take the demon into his body. Now keep in mind, where the demon came from,
We don't know.
was it the shark bite? Where's Hell Shark this whole time? Why is any of this going on? Stick with us, true believers. We'll finish this.
Because every so often you'll see the shark swimming in the water. You're going the same direction every time.
Yeah, a shark has 3 modes of transportation. To the left, to the right, and straight ahead.
And then turn around and go back.
Right. So anyway, she kisses him and lets the evil into him, to which his eyes glow. He bites
Smart girl.
on the arm, to which she runs away, and then blonde-headed chick and him look up, and you see this light. And then Hell Shark is coming out of the light, and then it just stops. Now at this point, I was like, that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
That's the only way it could be the end of the movie, right?
Nope.
Not
But there's more.
even
Close.
close. There is more. So then we cut to this girl in a bikini who seems to be just sunbathing on a nice little hillside near some water. We don't know if it's the lake. We don't know if it's a pond. We don't know nothing.
I see nothing. I was not here. I did not even get up this morning.
And there's a creeper.
There is a creeper walking around taking pictures of her. And this goes on
For good.
for a long time.
And she never notices.
And then, at one point, she gets up, she walks away, and then turns and looks at the cameraman, the real cameraman, us, the cameraman, the people are watching, the audience.
Yes.
She screams,
And that's it.
and then it cuts. Now, at this point, It cuts back to the other blonde girl from the beginning, who's at a harbor somewhere, and then smart girl walks up out of nowhere, stumbles, leans against a post, walks out onto the dock, to which blonde girl is like, Emily, what's going on? Emily then takes off her shirt. She's wearing a bathing suit.
Yes.
And then she says, in this tone, she says, look at me. And then she jumps into the water, and blonde's like, what's going on? And then Hell Shark jumps out of the water. And then screen goes black.
So you think, okay, it's over.
End of the movie, right?
Wrong.
Not even close. So then we cut to a shot of a girl standing near the water. And then she turns around and the nun is
Yes,
back.
the nun.
And the nun stabs her and throws her into water. And then covered in her blood.
Yeah.
And then calls for Satan, and here's another sacrifice. And then the girl who she threw in the water comes
A year
out.
later, from a year earlier, the one that she killed a year earlier,
Comes
Yeah.
out of the water,
takes her.
takes her into the water.
Yeah.
And that is the end of the movie.
Pretty much, yeah.
Keep in mind that we forgot to talk about the ghost whacker girl. Because there's so many of these little moments in this movie that really weren't going over in the plot because it's just dumb. So there's this whole thing with a girl who's got a very fat cameraman that follows her around.
She has a very deep voice.
Yes, and she's from Ghost Whackers, this show that shows off the paranormal, supernatural, and strange. And she's trying to connect with the spirit of the lake to find out about the shark. Which what the spirit of the lake does is apparently just possess her, make her writhe around on the ground, and talk in this really deep voice and say things like,
Deeper voice.
well, say things so creative like, I will swallow your soul.
Yes! Oh, infect me! Inside me!
I haven't heard that one before, have we, kiddies?
But she does become possessed.
But the problem is a lot of times she's supposed to be talking to the cameraman, the dude holding the camera. But a lot of times she'll be talking to him and then she'll spin around and talk to the non-existent cameraman behind her. And this happens a lot.
All the time.
Then there's a rival that's from Ghost Fakers that is trying to prove that there's nothing in the water. Keep in mind this whole time, people, we're talking about a lake. A freshwater lake that a shark supposedly is in. And these people apparently are totally okay with a shark being in a freshwater lake. Nobody ever stops to Wikipedia that stuff and go, oh, that doesn't really work in real life. The ludicrousy of this movie is phenomenal. Why did we have, on the first possession of Ghost Whacker's Girl, I ask you this, why did we have to sit through 5 to 6 minutes of the writhing on the ground? She gets possessed, says her lines, and then writhes as the cameraman works his way like this around her. Right? And there's a stupid amount of okay, does everybody remember Batman from the 60s and West? Right? Okay, does everybody remember when the camera angle would shift like this when the bad guys came in the room? Okay, so years ago, I looked that up. I wanted to know what that's about. So by the shifting the camera angle like that, it's supposed to throw a sinister look on the scene. So everybody in the scene looks more evil. Okay? They use that
all the time.
Way too much. There is so much tilted camera in this movie.
It's unbelievable.
It's like the damn tripod was broke. Like, seriously, it's just like, we know something's going to happen now.
It had to be on this entire movie took place on the most windiest day of the world.
Oh, if you're going to make a film, guys, there's so much wind whipping past the microphone.
You can hear it.
They didn't do any type of secondary audio. And then half the time, like, the women's hair is blown in their faces. Okay, here's the best part about it. When I say the best, it should be the worst. When Ghost Whacker Girl is being interviewed a lot, the wind's whipping past the thing.
Yeah.
Well, then when Ghost Faker Girl shows up, no, it does. But then there's this overlaid post, like, sound effect.
Yeah.
like this.
That's all really, yeah. That's all everything, yeah. And it blocks them talking too.
Yeah, you can barely understand their little argument over what's fact and what's fake.
Yeah.
Barely. At all.
Between that and the wind.
Oh, there are shots where, like, it's supposed to be someone by themselves, and in the distance, you can see people driving by.
Yeah.
When Joe Sixpack dies, he gets yanked under the water, and the shot is just stacked. Bam. And he's yanked under the water. And then if you look right up here in the corner, when the shot's about to end, you can see where he comes up and the water bubbles and ripples.
So I didn't see that.
You see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Like, I pointed it out.
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
pointed it out, but I didn't see it.
There's what he came out of. Like,
that's funny.
Oh, there's one part where, I can't remember what was going on, but I swear to God, the person was supposed to be alone, and off in the distance, I thought I saw somebody walk by. Like,
yeah, whenever the one girl was walking up, a car drove by.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about, like, I thought, okay, now I gotta question another one. What was going on? See, this is the thing about this movie is, it made me forget parts of it, and now they're coming back. Like, what in the hell was with the three girls doing the seance, and the leader girl gets all like, Caesar?
There was that
Caesar,
part.
not a Caesar.
Shoot, they were doing that, and then another girl, just out of blue,
is like crawling around in a graveyard.
Is going through the graveyard, and she's freaking out, and I guess being possessed at the same time. It's like they're transferring or something.
The only thing I can think of is that this was filler.
Yeah,
this was filler.
And then there was a part where a guy was running around. He was jogging.
Yeah,
did you see that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
and that girl got the girl that got killed.
Yeah,
in the water from Alice.
Oh yeah,
and he threw up and was like, well.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. People just randomly throwing up. Oh yeah,
He was like the entire time he goes, well, even though she's dead, she's kind of cute. I'm like, really, dude? She's dead. And
oh my God!
And this had a $300,000 budget.
It was all on the shark.
It had to have been.
Because that shark looked way too good compared to
Land Shark.
Land Shark,
it was awesome.
This shark is Emmy nominable.
Yes, it actually looked like a shark.
I don't know. All I can say is thank you guys for sitting through week number 2 of Shark Month here at House of Grey Rabbit. This was your experiment. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, what are we going to rate this thing, Brian?
Oh God, 1 giant exorcist vomit.
I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna rate it 1 fake looking leg bite. That's all. That's it.
There were so many fake bites in this movie.
There was so much fake everything in this movie. What are you talking about?
What's bad is that the bite that the girl got from the guy was more realistic than everything else.
So anyway, we watched Shark Exorcist on Tubi TV. That's TUBI TV. Is a free app that you can get on pretty much any device you own. We have ours on PlayStation 4 and at times have had it on our phones. Basically, you can watch all kinds of movies, good movies, bad movies, movies are kind of in the middle, good anime, good TV shows. Oh man, let me tell you, I've been watching some crazy stuff on there. So if you happen to own Shark Exorcist, I don't know why. If you've ever seen Shark Exorcist,
we don't know why.
We are so sorry. Or if you go out and purchase Shark Exorcist,
don't do it.
Don't do it. Please leave a comment down below.
And if you haven't subscribed, please do.
And remember to hit the bell if you want to be notified every time we make a new video.
And if you have any suggestions for us to watch in the future, please let us know. And
as always, punch that like button right in the nose. Because you know you're supposed to punch sharks in the nose.
Yes.
Right? This has been House of Grey Rabbit. Be seeing you.